Welcome to another edition of the Motley Croc Show. Can you believe it's the 30th of May and we are starting up with a bunch of BS as always every time we hit the middle of the year. Or a little bit past my favorite time. We're getting that split between where we end up at kind of in a Halloween slash summer. So, I'm presenting the Motley Beach. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in
Hello.
And the conservative ant.
He's so beautiful. Look at him sitting there.
He does not look. I hear. Oh, you're muted, buddy. Hold on, you're muted. Better?
Yeah, I look beat up today. I've been
You do?
Well, I've been literally nonstop since my news came out today. So I ran through into my studio, throwing on a shirt to be on here. So hello, everybody.
Why did you bother put it on? Everybody wants to see you without the shirt.
I would never do that. No, I would never do that. Nobody wants to see.
Hold on, I'm never late. Cuban is here.
Oh my God.
I'm never late. I'm Cuban. Okay. So Ant, can you hear us?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Justin, are you good? I just feel like we went through Pompeii. What happened?
I just did the same thing on my end. I think it was me trying to disconnect my headphones.
Oh, there you are.
Hi.
I feel like a prostitute in a hotel room at that angle. But
with the fan and everything.
When you come here, you're gonna laugh.
I heard that like cell block 6 usually the guys are on TikTok live. I literally feel like with
I love you.
Fan in the background and everything, I feel like that somebody gave him a phone in commentary and he just decided to pop into a podcast.
Why sitting on the chair? What's up, Bill? That's amazing. I know that we like to start off. Sometimes let's start off early with a little animal stuff. So I was looking up random animals today, and there's this thing called a firehawk. Is anybody familiar with a firehawk?
Hold on, is anybody else getting the rapid?
Yeah, like that rapid from Troy. Yeah, the big dig.
Okay, hold on, I'll fix that.
Or did you turn into a DJ?
Me. I know.
I was like,
We're about to go to the.
Craig, you do the show with no pants on? I guess nobody would.
That's Craig. That would be good. Is that better?
Yeah, he's sure cocking it for sure.
Can you guys hear me better?
Yeah.
Where's the late?
Is it not machine gunning?
No, not now.
Okay, what I was going to say was I want to start off with a little animal stuff because everybody likes animal stuff. I said there used to be this Pontiac Trans Am that was built way back, and it had what was called a Firebird. A lot of people thought it was a Firebird. But has anybody ever heard of the Firehawk?
The Marvel character Firehawk.
My brain's going to an innuendo.
So the Firehawk is what's known as a black kite. And what they'll do is they'll hunt down fires or where they can find embers, and they will fly a hot ember into dry grasslands, drop it, set the whole place on fire, and feed on the animals fleeing.
So all this shit with Smokey the Bear trying to blame it on us, and it's been these damn kites ever since.
I'm telling you, look up, bro, it's the best thing. Look up the black kite known as the Firehawk. They will steal it from human campfires. They'll steal it from other forest fires and fly with a burning ember and look specifically for areas like where, like when we were hunting that one time, we shot that fart sound out into the area, that type of shit. Yeah. And then what will happen is they'll drop it into that grass and then all the animals flee, all the rodents, anything small, and then they just go in and just nail it. It's called the black kite. I thought that makes me want to have one.
Well, you got to figure too, like it's evolution.
Just kidding, you animal rights fucks. I'm kidding.
These birds have literally set themselves up to hunt in a way where they're using a tool. So they're going out there. They know that the animals are going to flee from a fire, and if anybody doesn't know what a kite is, it's kind of like a raptor species.
We know it has a string on it. We collect lightning. Benjamin Franklin.
And
with the keys on top. No, it's a bird with a split tail. It's got a really distinctive split tail. So it's like people call them swallowtails, but it's not. It's an actual kite. And they go high and they'll catch small prey too. So you'll see these things smoke an insect, or you could toss a little cube of meat. I watched a lady do a show. She tossed a cube of meat that was no bigger than this in the air, 30 feet, and that fucker would catch it every single time. So they're pretty significant and amazing animals to watch.
I will get you one.
That's crazy.
What, a fire crotch? You're gonna get her a fire crotch? I mean, hawk?
No, she liked the hat. This is my, I have the Croc Star Summer Series. I'll always have. And then we got a little monster. Everybody's like, you're always in black. You must worship the devil. So I think I add a little color. And look,
my Motley Croc hat is red and black.
Well, that's paint colors. It's red and black. We already know you worship the devil. I know that. You believe in Bigfoot.
Well, my hat, I don't have it anymore because it's
together,
now
apparently
destroyed. But we went with the gray. Well, remember the one that I put we had the Croc Star and then I had the FAH-Q on it.
Yeah,
I miss that fucking hat.
The only reason Justin
are you in a bunker? Are you in a bunker somewhere? Or
he is still trying to figure out where you are.
That's his OnlyFans room.
I don't have the studio yet, so it's just
he's live from a bunker in Ukraine. I love it. This is great.
Live.
I was gonna say the only way, Justin, that you get away with wearing a wife beater is because you're half Cuban. Because if any of us full white people did that, we'd be like total aluminum.
I can wear one. I'm Italian. I can wear one.
I've seen you wear it though. It's different on you. It looks cute. On Justin, it looks like he just beat his wife and had a bowl of chili.
He's always got food in hand.
Oh shit! I do have food nearby. That's not even a joke.
We're just trying to keep it light and fun till we get into some stuff because I want to get into some few things. And how's your week going? And I know the other day when I was there, you were having a hard time with TikTok being a piece of shit. But
they banned my account. It's okay.
Stupid.
Well, and how do you have another one that's got like 9 billion people on it? Or is that somebody pretending to be you?
No, it's me. I had a backup account that I had ready to go for.
You better build a couple of them.
I think I'm going to be done with TikTok after this. I think I'm just going to stay on Instagram.
So
a lot of people are leaving TikTok because of all this banning and restrictions and shit that's going into place. It's ridiculous.
I don't get it though. So they ban you, but at the same time, you can have another account. That's fine.
Well, I had yes, but no, because you have to make a new email and put it on another phone number. They track you can't use. So honestly, it's not a big deal. Meta doesn't do that really to people as long as you're not, racist, homophobic. As long as you're not putting out nasty things, which I don't. So. No. But TikTok is literally just a bias app, and they only push the creators that they want. So I'm not going to play this game anymore.
Pornography.
There's guys on there that show their sweatpants, their gray sweatpants and stuff, and they're fine. So, and if anybody knows gray sweatpants season, I'm not complaining, but it shouldn't be on an app. You know what I mean? There's
Justin, that's why I tell you when we're at the hotel, you shouldn't be walking around in gray sweatpants in the hallways because it sends out signals to people that just can't get it. And you always go, why? I go, just don't do it.
What's the signal?
You don't know what gray sweatpants are?
No.
That's the Croc Show After Dark. We'll talk about that later.
Okay, so too much for TV type shit.
Too much for TV.
Too much for live TV.
Family friendly show.
Hold on. Okay. Not anymore. It's all changed. Well,
speaking of family friendly
kitchen. Oh, thank goodness.
I've
never been on a podcast with so many kitchens.
I'm in a bunker. Jeff's in the kitchen. Send help, please. I've been blinking Morse code for 20 minutes. Nobody's getting it, so it looks like I'm doomed over here.
Jay.
I'm having some computer charging issues, so I'm on my phone.
Who's Dan?
I thought you were always on your phone.
You know who Dan is? Dan is the that's the guy. Remember he
was blowing you kisses.
Remember he was blowing you kisses that night in the chair. Remember he had he aimed at you and was farting in your directions. And
oh my god!
Do you remember him?
That's Dan.
I gotta find a place to put my phone. If I try to hold it up, it ain't gonna work.
Daniel? That's Daniel?
Yep.
Oh, he was flirting with me with that whole. Yeah, I remember.
He is a big flirt.
Sure was. He is a big flirt. I love it because he wears those old guy pants and it blows wind at you.
Yeah, he wears pleated pants too, doesn't he?
Yes, on his shorts. That's not his fault though.
Well, now he just
his clothes are laid out. His clothes are laid out on his bed.
Oops.
What he's allowed to wear.
Oh my gosh! By the way, Aunt, I like your hats in the back on the wall.
Thank you.
I like how they're stationed there. It's really nice.
Thank
You
you.
can
nice
see
touch.
that? My
I
phone
can.
is so small.
He's got one with a different.
Yeah, I can't see anything.
I try to wear fancy hats because Ann always wears a fancy hat with flowers on it or.
I want one of those Patriot hats. I think they're awesome.
They sold out. Yeah, I'll have to
Listen. The
Of
thing
course
is
they
that
have.
he'll give that to special
But you
people
get them knockoff.
like
The
me.
Chinese make them.
Oh, I got you a whole wardrobe.
It says
Yes, he
Patriot.
did. He came over with a bag of gear.
Hello, beginners.
But you know what? It's funny. I still wear that I do not identify shirt, bro, and I get more comments about that damn T-shirt everywhere I go with that thing. Somebody says some shit. So you must have done something right there, bud.
I mean, but why do people have to identify? Why do people have to identify as? I'm sorry. I that's what I am confused about.
You know, let me get in on that a little bit because I think there were some mixed signals about that whole thing. I know what Ant's referencing, but for a while there, if you remember too, Jeff, it's where the cops were getting a little out of control, just harassing anybody for any reason, and you really don't have to identify yourself. You're not being investigated for a crime or any of that. You're minding your business. You have rights to be left alone. So that I do not identify shit started a little bit before I identify as a unicorn wearing chocolate ketchup with banana tits. That kind of stuff came later. I mean, no, I'm serious though. Like I love that because look at me, I'm fucked up, but I think it's okay. But that's I think a lot of it identified as that at first. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Because
it works
cops
for
are really messing with everybody, and it doesn't matter if you're black or you're heavily tattooed or you're Hispanic or whatever. They just lump you all in as one species and then they just harass you. A lot of times that's true. And there's a lot of them that don't need it. Rami, what's up, bro? I love that Rami's here. He's got the best food in town.
What's interesting though is like, how come there's like boundaries on what you're allowed to identify as? Like, how come everybody else gets to choose? But if like one of us just for the heck of it was like, well, then fine, I want to identify as something. They're like, no, you can't. You're not allowed. It's like, wait, you get to make up the rules on this? I don't think so.
Oh yeah, there's a society.
No, it's like it's their own, like Ann always says, this community that's out there. It's like they have the right to, let's say, wake up tomorrow and say, I want to identify as a red raven. That's not even real, but I'm going to identify that I am, right? Right, but you don't. So like because you're not a part of that group and that push, if I was to come out tomorrow and say I want to identify as a scientist because of the work that I do, I can't do that. I don't have a right to do that.
You can identify as whatever you want.
You think that, but it's still an argument to their side. You are not allowed to identify because it's their right and their standpoint to push on that because we have put the thumb on them for too long.
But you could be a Sasquatchess.
I could be an alien if I wanted to be, which I technically am. My blood isn't from this earth, so I can be like, listen, bitches.
Is good because I've been reading that they're blonde sometimes. So you could be a Sasquatch. I mean, just like a blonde Sasquatch.
She's a tall blonde.
That's right.
Well,
I'm a blonde bath squatch. Okay.
I wish we could pull up videos so that we could show some videos while we talk about this. To your point, it was funny. Just the other day, I watched a little clip of somebody that was he was a kid and he was in a lesbian big-bodied group, right? So he joins the group and it's a little skinny white kid, and he's like, "Hey, I identify as 275-pound lesbian," and he was dead serious. He wasn't like making any weird comments or any jokes. He's just like, "Hey, what's up?" And everybody introduced himself and all that. And the lady was like, "I don't understand why you're here. This is for big body people." And he's like, "Yeah, that's what I'm here for." And she was like, "I just don't." And he's like, "Do you guys not feel comfortable with me being here? Like I came for this." Still not making jokes, not breaking anything, just completely straight faced. And he was like, "Are you guys uncomfortable with this?" And they're like, "Well, it's just you can't identify as a big body person." And he's like, "But I do. Like that's the way I feel. Then I feel like I need this group to kind of help me along." And they shut his ass down so quick. Everybody immediately was like, "I'm uncomfortable with this." And the kid's like, "Well, I mean, if you're uncomfortable, I could leave, but like, I thought this was what this was for."
Yes, Rami.
I can't believe that he was in there trying to do that in any kind of seriousness, to be honest with you. I think he was just in there mocking them, which, I love
100, no. 150% he was doing it to prove a point, but he did it in such a manner where
it's not valid. You can't just do it to prove a point. because it's not a valid thing, you know.
Ooh, I love it. Straight white male telling us about pronouns. Can you please tell me about pronouns?
I'm not telling you about pronouns. I'm just telling you that,
it's always
that
the
mocking
white
somebody.
guys that are always on the pronouns side.
Let me finish.
Let
me finish. All right. So what I'm saying is that mocking somebody is not the same as identifying as something.
Well, but they've made people mock it.
Yeah.
But why do people care? That's the whole point.
I care when a guy wants to identify as a girl and go into a girl's bathroom just because they're a creep.
Correct.
I care
then
I have a problem.
Because they're forcing people to make a choice on their pronouns when they go to school before they take a test. So
I don't think they're forcing people to make a choice just because they ask.
Oh my God, dude. I can't I can't do the straight people thinking that they can speak for the community. I can't.
I'm not speaking for any community. I'm just speaking for humanity, bro.
Yeah, humanity says leave us the fuck alone. We never wanted this. And all the allies are the ones that did this to the LGBT community.
I didn't do it.
The pronoun thing ruins my community.
This is how
it ruins my community. It made a mockery of my community, which in turn nobody now takes seriously.
So making a further mockery of it doesn't make it any better, is what I'm saying.
So
I have no dog in this fight.
I liked what the kid did because he didn't do it in a disrespectful way. He didn't do it where he was just blatantly calling it out or whatever. He did it slow, subtle, and he was methodical about his choice to do it. And he was dead serious with these people to say, like, this is how I want to experience this. And they kicked his ass right the fuck out. And the point is that you got all these people identifying as all these different things that really aren't in any specific community, and they're saying, well, we can call ourselves this and that and the other and whatnot. We demand that you call us the same, but then when somebody else does it and they're uncomfortable with it, they flip it back around and go, well, you can't do that.
Justin.
And that's why I liked it.
Because
to me, I feel like Ant's right. We don't have the right to speak on that because it's not our.
As I have no right to speak about any other movement that, like a colored movement, Black Lives Matter, that's not my movement. I'm not black. So it's not my room to speak about their injustices because I don't know. I don't have the same injustices they do. So I'm going to sit this one out. They got this. They got it.
Right.
I don't
but then
have it.
But you think about
straight, I want to say something. So straight people should really sit this one out.
Correct. I think that if we are going to be, if you have an entire society that wants to say it's okay to identify as you want, then it should be welcome anywhere you go. There should be no reason for mockery to begin with. But
exactly,
just the problem is you have people that are dead in the middle, and then you have extreme on this side and extreme on this side, and then everybody gets involved and they just contaminate everything. And I'm not just talking about Ant's community or even any community that I'm not part of.
My community is the one
when people pour shit into it, they ruin it.
My neighborhood is my community in which I live in Florida, in the United States of America. I'm not part of any other community besides such. I'm not part of the other communities. I don't want to be a part of it. I don't want straight people coming up to me and saying, thank you for your bravery. Please leave me alone. It's not, it's just like, go fight about Starbucks fucking raising their prices. I don't know, whatever it is that y'all do.
There's no.
I can tell you, I don't fight over Starbucks, guys. I don't
give them my money. So.
I agree. I think everybody should stay out of it. That's my point.
But I like the dichotomy of what just happened.
They poked the bears.
They poked the bear?
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's only Democrats and straight white people.
I didn't say Democrats.
But you meant it. You implied it.
Yeah.
Am I wrong? Do you not think that?
I think that people that are extreme on the left poked the bear, yes.
And the people that are extreme on the right?
Sure, of course they poke the bear in certain aspects, absolutely.
But they poke the bear the other way by hating and mocking and posting shitty memes, which I laugh at sometimes. I'm not gonna lie. You know, I have a sense of humor, man. Funny's funny, no matter who it fucking hurts.
But take both of these conversations, put them together, and basically what you have is both of you are proving your own points because Ian's saying that we have idiots. We have no dog in the fight, right? It should be left to that thing. And then on the other side of it, they've made a spectacle out of it to the point where now it's easily mocked when before they had everything that they wanted already as far as, living the lives the way that they wanted to, and they got to quietly do that. Nobody bothered them, and now everybody is up everybody's ass to bother everybody about something else that they shouldn't even be bothering people out. So on Jeff's side, nobody should be talking about it. And on Ant's side, nobody that's not in that battle should even have a word to say about it. But it's there now because of the situations that came about.
Well, in here, I'm going to tell you about. I really didn't even want this show to go that way. So I'm so sorry that I hijacked your show. But,
that was me.
Yeah, thanks, Justin. I just keep saying that. Thank you. It's all right. Go ahead. I like it.
All I want to say is the only people that come up to me that say to me, "Oh my God, is this your partner? I have a gay cousin." The only people that do that to me are liberals. I'm sorry, it's Democrats. They're the only ones that virtue signal like that. Conservatives or Republicans have never done that to me. They've never brought up my sexuality.
Are you saying that both sides don't virtue signal?
I'm saying, to me personally in my life, brother, they don't do that to me.
No, I get it. And you know what? Because
I'm telling you my experience.
I can see
I don't
that
know if you had a different gay experience. I'm telling you my gay experience has been.
I don't have any gay experience.
But I'm just letting you know. I'm telling you, it would be like me sitting here as a black man telling you something, and then you're like, but. And I'm like, hold on, I'm sorry, are you black?
I never claimed to know the gay experience. Nor did I stick up for anybody. I'm just saying that everybody should just stay the fuck out of it. Partisan politics is a joke on both sides. It's a fucking joke. If you're extreme red or extreme blue, you're still drinking Kool-Aid. It's just a different color. Doesn't matter.
Country divided.
I still think like it would be really ridiculous for me. Like I stand and see what Ant's saying. It'd be stupid for me to like go to one of these rallies and speak on behalf of the community and be like, XYZ, blah, 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 when I don't have a dog in that fight. I don't have any representation. I can't just say, I have a cousin, I have a friend. No, so then I'll let my friend do it. If my friend is gay, I'll let my friend handle it. I love you. You're my friend. You do you and handle what you feel you need to stand up for. That's why I love my
I don't let my gay friends handle it. I'm sorry.
Not like
cool.
that.
I think if you listen to Ant, though, like when Ant speaks, he referenced Starbucks, right? And so when I hear that, I think of young white girls between the ages of 18 and 22 in front of the gay rallies wearing rainbow wristbands and their Starbucks cup with the gay pride cover on the outside supporting them, and they're not gay at all. I think that's when I hear that, that's the reference I automatically go to. So stay home and fight over your Starbucks was very clever.
Saying they want socialism while using their iPhone to make TikToks.
Yeah.
Wait,
but do you think that too? It's to some extent like it's more of like a fitting in type of deal. Like somebody's trying to figure out where they can put themselves. Whether it, no matter what the cause is you go out for a cause to find a community that maybe some of these people are changing their own opinions about what they thought, just to fit into a group or whatever, just to say, now I belong to this or whatever. And
there's a lot of that.
That's like a Shangri-La for straight guys, dude. Hot girls sitting around scantily clad, and the only other guys around are all gay. It's perfect.
I missed that. That one went right over my head.
The girl standing up front with the rainbow stuff that you were talking about.
He said the girls are scantily clad with their Starbucks and the rest are gay. It's a perfect scenario for
point being that nobody should give a fuck.
So and sending them back to us is what he's saying.
Listen,
get back to them, boys.
Listen, I'm gonna throw just a fun. I'm gonna just take us out of this little moment, but I'm gonna show you
because you're taking away a spin that me and Ant need to talk about. Okay.
No, this is this will add to it. This just shows you, and Ant will love this because this just shows you how ridiculous our society is and social media is, right? So I went to Disney. Saw what Troy shared it with you. I thought it was hilarious. We're looking at tadpoles with legs, and obviously somebody threw a turkey bone, like a turkey leg in, right? And water amplifies the size, so it looks like a giant femur bone sitting in the bottom of the Walt Disney World lake. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
I film it, and I'm laughing, and I'm like, "There's a femur bone in Walt Disney World. Oh my God, is it a turkey leg? What's going on?" Just as a joke, because my paranormal mama page is me just being me and funny. This thing is almost at 1 million views. Okay. And all the comments, if you have the time to go through the 14,000 comments that are on there, you should, because they are saying, I am the problem. I didn't contact the cops. The trafficking with Disney has been going on for years.
Oh,
Google
I
it.
love that.
300 kids have been taken year round. I am a horrible
So
mother
sad.
for
Yes.
taking my children to Disney and exposing them because within
Did you say
seconds.
those guys about the kids being taken?
Huh?
No, when you said that 300,000 kids were taken, he said those guys. So are you talking about conspiracy theorists? Because trafficking does happen in the United States.
Of course it happens, but there's no millions of kids disappearing every day.
She didn't say
Not from Walt Disney
There's
World.
not 300,000 disappearing every day.
No, they were talking
Yeah,
strictly.
there is. I work
they
with
were
child
comment-
trafficking. That's another thing you should set out.
There was comments on there about it was 300 kids
Who are
a
these
year.
kids?
300 kids a year. Well, these are just comments. I didn't look into it. I'm just saying it's just comments saying 300 kids a year go missing from Disneyland and Disney World in the underground tunnels, and nobody cares to look for the kids.
So the whole
but I'm just saying they called me a Karen because I made a joke of it.
Okay, but hold on.
But people that actually knew it was just a joke were like, she's just making a joke, guys. It's a turkey leg.
Calm down. Brittany was spoofing on Halloween stuff.
It was a turkey leg.
First of all, child trafficking, they don't traffic them in Disney World and then throw them in the water right by the fucking Epcot Center thing.
Of course not.
So, but on the same sense of that,
and it went to
people that get into that, the people that make those comments are not people who are truly involved in any type of pedophilia or sex trafficking or adult sex trafficking, any of it. The people that sit around and make those comments are usually morons, for one. And you kind of need them because they actually truly believe what they say. So the world needs that because there'd be no money changing hands without the Duntanuns, dude. So you have to have that too.
Listen,
you should have seen people talk shit about me bringing Aunt a rainbow cake. Does he even know you at all? How terrible what you put him through. He has to deal with so much. I love you, Aunt. You deal with so much. And I'm like, this motherfucker. You know,
well, you're such a piece
I'll
of
let it
shit,
go.
Troy.
And I'm looking, I'm like, Jesus, Aunt's like, just let it go. So for someone to actually think that I would walk into Aunt's house, who they've seen with Aunt a plethora of times, and not know that he would listen, he loved that fucking cake. It did taste good. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. That cake was fucking good, dude. And everybody's like, oh, that's all chemicals and you'll die from it. Every cake is chemical. I don't understand why they think
this beautiful body with you.
One.
So funny. It just shows you my whole point of it was absolutely. And yes, sex trafficking is a real thing. Child sex trafficking is a real thing. But you don't have to be at Disney World to get sex trafficked. You could be at Target. There's videos that are coming out now where people are being adults are shopping and they're not paying attention to their one child that's just walking around the cart, and random people are coming up, grabbing and covering their mouth and running off. And these are surveillance cameras. So don't be ignorant to think it doesn't happen, because it does. But the comments alone, all it did was show me we have given a platform to a heavy amount of idiots who want to have a voice that don't know anything about anything of what they're talking about. But because they Googled it, it's real. It's the real deal, because everything on Google is real and nobody can write fake shit on Google.
Right.
And it's like, you can't. And then the attack on me as a bad mom, it's amazing. So I'm like sitting there going, this is hilarious to me. If you think you're hurting me, you're not hurting me. And now there's a conspiracy that Disney has shut me up because I haven't made a post since. So I like where this is going. They think something's happened to me now. They're like, she hasn't made a video since this happened. What do you think happened to her? Do you think the bone's still there?
That's
do you think she called the cops? And people have messaged me, and I'm like, I'm not
in
answering.
Hollywood, that's called a BuzzFeed.
Like, this is way more interesting now.
You mean like rap battles?
With
That's how we should settle all our problems. Rapping
people are going to leave this show today and think that Ant and Jeff hate each other.
Of course not.
And Justin's an instigator. And I'm upset that everybody's starting trouble. That's what's going to happen. There's going to be people that watch this. They're going to think that, oh my God, I can't believe this is going on. They need to get their hearts checked. They're probably overstressed. Let's pray for them tonight. It's going to happen. We just have to let it fly.
Well, you know what's funny though is I think social media is destroying everything.
But I know that they'll think that.
But that leads into the perfect conversation about, I think, what you wanted to talk about, Troy, with the censorship of, and the shift of times and generational gaps.
Yes.
And
I think that if
about and the things that are
me and Ant and I had a great
Jim
conversation.
wants to know, why do Jeff and Ant hate each other. They don't
hate each other.
Jim's just being a tool.
It's all just being fun.
Jim's
I know.
Jealous.
He's always here. Jim's just having
Love
fun.
you, Jim.
He didn't mean that.
Jim's just jealous because he thinks Ant's going to handle my situation.
I still have the Bigfoot cider can that Jim got me. It's on my shelf back there.
No, I love Ant. I think Ant's
he was
great
kidding, Karen.
He speaks his mind.
He was kidding.
Whether I agree with his opinion or not doesn't matter. He speaks
What
his
you just
mind, and I have a lot of admiration for that.
It's because I'm blonde,
I'm
Jim.
just sassy and
The blonde Karen.
Yeah.
Well,
People
look,
can disagree. That's how it used to be in the 80s.
That's right, Tara. Tara's in. Hello, Tara. Aunt, you're too pretty for anyone to hate.
I said he was gorgeous.
You better be careful, Tara. He'll take your man. He will take your man.
This is a perfect example of two people that have two different views that could talk about it in a heated way without being assholes to each other, and then turn around and go right back to being professional and hanging out and talking.
That's what life used to be like before the great partisan divide.
Yeah,
that we used to be able to have dissenting opinions, even people that we were significant others with, people at the bar, people at work. You used to be able to have a friendly debate about something, and then at the end of the day, it doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, it used to be called a discussion. My mother was broken because she goes out and plays golf with these ladies or whatever. Hopefully my mom doesn't watch this and the ladies don't watch this.
She is now. You're dead. Might as well forget about anything she did this year.
She's at a dinner with all these people that she's hung out with and played golf with for years, and that's like her thing. So they're out to dinner. She's a Republican. Apparently these other people were not Republicans. And then she had something in common with one of the wives' husbands who had similar ideas, and they just talked a bit or whatever, and that shit turned into these motherfuckers wouldn't play golf with her. They didn't want to talk to her.
Right, which was stupid as shit.
But they didn't even, and it wasn't like they were like, hey, they didn't involve themselves in the conversation and say, hey, well, this is how we feel. There was no healthy debate or talk or anything. And you're talking about like, an older generation of people. This was just like they overheard the shit, didn't like it, and then just decided to fucking shun her for however many fucking months.
Which is wrong on either side. It doesn't matter.
Ridiculous.
Bro, because that is just, and I will get into what I was going to say earlier. I think that has to do with, we've been taught so many stupid shit, dude. So you have to go all the way back to my grandparents' time, and all the shit that they've taught all the way down the line from beginning to end. And I think that's exactly why we're where we are today, because people mix politics with religion, with their moral code, with this person's moral code. I think if you're not having sex with children and you're not raping anyone, whoever you choose to cheat on, have sex with, sleep with, or do whatever with is up to you. That doesn't have anything with the way you do your job, Justin. You know what I'm saying?
Unless it's children.
So like if me and Justin are running a business and we do something on the side, That doesn't have anything to do with how we run that business. So for them to be judged, when every one of them, dude, every one of those people that do that judging are just a little sex mongrel like the people they accuse, dude.
Well, look at
all the churches. Everybody has 9 to 21 kids. Somebody's fucking somewhere. Yeah, we always have to get into that. Oh, Trump slept with a hooker. Who gives a fuck? I'm happy. How many guys out there pointing the finger wouldn't have slept with a porn star if they could? They'd be lying to you.
I still would. Well, listen, but not for money.
Listen, people can start talking shit when they get rid of all the silent massage parlors that are across the entire country and every
100%.
And
I don't know what you speak of, Ant.
He's
and
like,
it's
I don't
just
know
part
what
of
you
the
speak
massage.
of.
I don't know what you're talking about.
But you know what, though? To go to your point, religion, politics. Look, I get a lot of heat, and all of us get heat for different things because we're all in the public eye. So right, I get heat too for being a certain religion and not practicing it the way I should, I guess. But guess what?
Yeah.
You can practice whatever religion. If this is my religion, this hat, that's okay for me. It might not be okay for you, but this is what I pray to every day. Go ahead, girl, get it. Do your thing. You pray to that hat, baby. Does it make you feel good at night? It does. It puts closure in your heart. That's all that matters. Don't attack people because of their religion or what they believe in or how they think it or whatever. So I guess to circle back, for those of you that really like Jen Psaki, to circle back to the beginning of the conversation, you are actually right in the sense of like, right, who cares? Like, I don't understand certain aspects of the LGBT community, and I was part of that community. I am gay, but like, I'm not going to go out of my way. But the point is, I'm personally not going to go out of my way to troll people because for what reason? It doesn't behoove me. Like, why am I doing that?
I troll people.
But I mean, troll people in the sense of like that guy did. It's comedy. It's funny shit.
Right.
Like, he was.
I do it for comedy purposes only.
I get that, but like, if just because I don't agree with someone's point of view or pronouns or whatever, I'm not gonna like make an ass of them in front of a group of people to make them feel even more like shit. Like, why would I do that?
Right.
You know what I'm
but
saying?
People do.
You know, like
people do, and in that I do agree with you. But
yes, Jim, entertainment
on both sides. People have poked the bear in the sense of giving the other side the fuel to be like, well, they're doing this, so guess what I'm going to do? Bop, 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 bop. Oh, well, you're doing this? Well, guess what I'm going to bop, bop, bop. And
therein lies the problem. That everybody, everybody thinks it's got to be equal footing, you know? You know, just a basic example, and this has nothing to do with Democrat, Republican, but, you know, I kept seeing things like, oh, Clinton paid hush money and he didn't get, you know, it doesn't matter what Clinton did. It doesn't matter what Bush did. It doesn't matter what Reagan did. It only matters what the person who was charged with crimes did. You know what I mean? It's that whole, well, he did it. Why can't he do it? Or, you know, Trump did it. Why can't Biden do it? Or Biden did it. Why can't Trump do it? It's ridiculous. You know, everybody thinks that there has to be some kind of equal footing. Life just isn't like that. People are stupid. People commit crimes, especially politicians, right? I mean, you know how, you know, if a politician's guilty of a crime, they're a fucking politician, period.
Yeah, and I don't
every
think
last
any of those
one
crimes
of them
are worth charging anybody for. I don't give a shit about any of them. It didn't affect anybody.
I don't either. And
you know, I mean, I think that's what I think is dumb, you know.
I feel like, though, and correct me if I'm wrong, like, as I was growing up and shit like that, like, this sort of division didn't feel like it was really around. Like,
it wasn't.
You know, everybody could say whatever they wanted. And then, dude, my grandparents, one was a Republican, one was a Democrat.
My
every
parents.
4 years, I got to watch them battle it out, and it was fucking hilarious.
I can tell you when I personally think it started with this major division, and it was back in 2008 when Obama got in. People hated that he was in. People hated that he was in. Didn't matter what he could or couldn't do. It's the fact that he was part black. People hated it, and then you got that extreme hatred started. And you had this where he would use certain things or say certain things that seemed as if he was more of a socialist. Some of his views may or may not have been.
I wasn't even.
Then you got really crazy shit. And then it became a media fest, if you remember. Then it was all about the media. And it started right there. Because up until then, I remember sitting home at night, and then like the news would come on, and one of the presidents would be having a debate in the 80s. You know, the 80s and all the way into the early 90s. You remember that stuff, you know. But I don't remember so much hate about it. But then again, we also didn't have the amount of social media where everybody's within seconds away from each other. And I think Jeff made reference to that. Everybody knows about it now.
And that
so
goes
Jeff
to
and I can talk if he lives in the other neighborhood. And before I'd have to ride my bike to his house. By then I was already cooled off, so I couldn't write something shitty about him.
Yeah.
You know, there's no
dude, I've been going at it all day.
I'm going to go down and talk to Jeff. I have to get on my shoes, sneak out, grab my bicycle, walk it down the driveway so the dog doesn't bark, pedal it down fucking 2 miles. I'm sweating. By the time I get there, he's like, are you still mad? We smoke a joint and it's done. But when I'm pissed off now, I'm like, fuck Jeff, this motherfucker said. Boom. And then it's out there. And then you might want to take it back, but now it's been screenshot, it's been spun around, it's been thrown around. And I really think that that's where this has all started. And it did. It started right in that era for me, at least when I started to take notice.
You gave a platform to people who, and whatever, who don't leave their homes.
By the way,
armchair specialists, professionals, government officials who really aren't, and they all feel they have a say.
His breakfast eggs.
Oh yeah,
who wants to make omelet?
Snake eggs. Snake eggs.
Oh, snake eggs.
His babies have been
about 100 of them right now.
Well, now
he's got them coming.
Something.
So I think
that's starting tomorrow.
Jay's getting something. I have a feeling.
Really, I'm probably grabbing an animal because you did.
I'm too tired. Animals. Nope.
Oh no, he brought over.
You know,
but he didn't hear that.
What'd you say?
Are those your dentures?
No, Brooke loaned those to him to show everybody.
What are those?
Took a lot.
Those are my eggs.
Are those your balls? Yes,
they are.
Hold
Well,
them
you
up
were
to the
showing
camera.
off your eggs. You were showing off your eggs. I wanted to show off my eggs too. Look, I keep them in a little thing right here.
What are those particular eggs? The dog's balls?
These are.
Where's Ant?
I believe these are Romeo's.
He muted for a second. It says he's still here.
Yeah,
he's
here. Still here. There he is.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
What are those, Jay?
Those are the testicles of Tiny Dog. There you go.
Of your enemies?
Testicles of all my enemies.
But,
That's crazy.
just for the record, Ant doesn't hate me. At least I don't think so. And I don't hate Ant. I think Ant's an awesome person. And sometimes we don't get along. And not get along. We don't have the same opinion, which is great. That's what life is all about. If everybody had the same opinion, it'd be boring as fuck.
Yeah,
I was always taught you walk out and fucking not everybody in this world is meant to be friends. Not everybody in this world is meant to love everybody. That's just not a thing that's going to happen. But everybody in this world can agree to disagree to certain things or whatever. And what just happened is called being fucking adults, which I guess is fucking lost in translation nowadays. Because if you fucking don't get your opinion out and you don't, if everybody doesn't agree on one specific thing, then we'll just scream at the top of our lungs and glue myself to a fucking.
I mean,
that's exactly Justin's right, because he's changed because he doesn't throw his employees through their car windows into their front seat anymore when he asks them to leave the property.
That asshole, first of all, that was a friend of mine.
I'm just saying.
And that asshole fucking deserved that shit. He did, because you almost killed him too.
But the way he went through that window was good. And he still drove away with glass all in his lap and everything. It was wonderful. So the fact that Justin has changed and they agreed to disagree. So he disagreed with the way Justin handled it, but that's okay.
But now he didn't throw you through glass.
he actually apologized to me after that because I have, for anybody that doesn't know, I have, and people attack me for this all the time, so it goes right along with the conversation about people attacking people for, whatever is in their past or whatever they believe. I had a dark past. I've had some things that I've done to myself with drugs and all that other bullshit or whatever. And this particular person I grew up with, and he was having an issue. I know how that is. I feel bad for that shit because I've gone through it. So I tried to pull his ass out of it, and he was doing well for a little bit, and then I found him asleep in his fucking truck while I was in an emergency, and I had him at my place working, paying him good and shit. So yeah, I fucking threw him through the window, told him to fucking kick rocks. Still love him.
You're justified.
Yeah, I still love the kid to death, but I will not. I told him fucking, because I've gone through it with him for so many years, and I know it's hard. Don't get me wrong, I know that shit is hard.
You gotta cut the ties, man. It's the only way to do it.
Well, I told him, I gave him multiple opportunities. I've tried to help you out when you figure yourself out. And I said, I hope everything works out well, because I don't want to see you dead, and I don't want to see you back in jail, because he had been there many times before. And I told him, when you fucking get your shit together or whatever, I'm always your brother. I said, but I can't fucking be here with you and bail you out of everything, because it's not teaching you shit, and you got to want that shit for yourself.
That's the smart way, dude, because, you can't let it drag you down, first of all. Unfortunately, we're judged by the company that we keep. Yeah, and people associate you with who you hang out with, even if it's somebody you love and somebody that's a friend. You have a reputation, as a public figure, as a gentleman and a very, gentle person. No, seriously. But no, you can't let somebody else's problems bring you down.
Yeah, no matter what. And you can try and help, and I believe that it's a good thing for people that are your friends.
You offer help is really all you can do.
Yeah, and you don't have to help everybody across the board, anybody that comes across your doorway or whatever. Nope. No, you can't. You really can't.
One of the reasons why I got into what I got into as far as work was, life has been given to me for a lot of years. I've had a good life, and I still have a great life, and I have good friends, good people around me. I get to fucking play with snakes rather than work a lot of the time. And it was time for me maybe to give back a little bit, to do a little bit of public service and take care of some sick people.
It feels good.
It does feel good. It's don't get me wrong. There are plenty of people being like, yeah, it's I don't want to say this one, but
say
it's the job, man.
Plenty of people that you would rather give a different sedative to. Is that what you're saying?
Right. There's plenty of people that should be a fucking DNR all across the board, but their families fucking keep them going.
Have a tattooed on their
98
forehead.
years old, all their organ systems have completely failed. They're pretty much being kept alive by medicine and fucking, duct tape and Band-Aids.
Oh, I got a buddy with his grandma, bless her little soul, but she has that shit all over her place. DNR. She's like, don't
which is good, man. That's once you
I'm gonna do that when I'm older.
Come to grips.
Yeah, I'm gonna do when I'm older. Don't put. I don't want to be in a chair shitting on myself for my family.
I don't care about people enough to help them, so I don't even have a dog.
Yeah, I'm gonna be a DNF. FWM. Do not fuck with me. Period. That's all I want, man. Just leave me alone. Let me die. Put me out on an ice floe. Do whatever, or comfort measures. Give me a big bolus of morphine and send me on my way.
I will say here, like you guys are all saying for yourself, like obviously you need to put that in writing. Have that in writing prior, right? Put that in writing. But I will say this falls in line with like what we're talking about. If someone's choice to keep their family member alive, that's up to them. We may not agree with it. We may sit there and go, oh my gosh, this is really bad, or whatever. But I've seen people that were like, literally, they should be dead. And they've turned around 180 because the doctors were wrong. So I sit there and I go, I'm just going to sit this one out because I'll let the family decide because it's their family. It's their right. It's their family. It's their whatever they want to do. It's not the hospital's wishes. And I don't care about the nurses coming in telling me what they think is right because we've been down that road with our own personal family members. And it's like, no, like it's our right. It's our right as our family to know. Like I can say on behalf of like watching my grandparents, it was their choice. And I don't think we should have ever taken that from them.
It has to be the patient's choice. That's what I mean is that when the patient has DNR in Florida.
But sometimes the patients don't put that in writing prior.
That's true.
And then it comes down to the next of kin to like say, and then it's hard for that person, to have to make
Jeff, am I wrong?
That person, but
if they have on there do not resuscitate, you don't keep them alive, right?
No.
Say that one more time, Troy.
I said, am I correct? Like if someone has it on or DNR, do not resuscitate.
Yeah.
That means the family can step in. That's up to them.
Their family can come in and say, oh, I don't want them to be a do not resuscitate anymore. And even though it's their wishes, unless they have a durable power of attorney,
right?
The family can block their DNR and keep them alive, which happens a lot.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, I think if you're personal, if like for me personally, it's like, no, I don't want to be. I don't care that the doctor's saying she's brain dead. She's not going to come back. I've literally heard those stories.
But when you're brain dead, you don't come back.
But they have, and the doctors were wrong. And you can pull up
brain death is death in Florida.
Yes and no. If you pull up the reports across the United States, there are stories where the doctors considered the patient technically brain dead, and the patient was in coma. And guess what? They were not. And when they came back, they told the stories of, I heard the doctors and the nurses telling my family to let me die. And I heard everything that was going on in the room. But they said I was brain dead. So for me, it's one of those things where it comes down to you personally. You need to be the one to write that down in writing to say, no matter what, I think care.
Everybody should have an advance directive.
Don't save me. Because it's not any, and I'm sorry, I love you all to pieces, but I'm not going to let any of you decide what I want to do with my body if I'm laying in a bed. Like, I don't want a nurse dictating me. I don't want a nurse telling my husband. Yeah, I'm saying like I'm gonna get it all out, put it all out in the open.
Well,
but
here, I'll give you a stance on. Like I see one of my curses in life, I guess, and I call it a curse because I see both sides. I always do.
Yeah.
Both sides of every situation. Like I really do. And so I think that I understand where everybody's coming from. So if that's what you want, you need to really get into writing. Like Jeff said, that nobody, unless it's put with your power of attorney, should be allowed to do that. And there are cases where sometimes people are wrong. And so to me, my opinion is it's definitely if one of Jeff's children was on life support and there's nothing in writing, that's up to Jeff.
Exactly.
Me,
oh, absolutely.
Because he may have.
If they can't make the decision for themselves, they need a proxy.
Right. And that's up to Jeff. If Jeff goes, look, I know there's nothing left we can do. It's in my hands now, and he takes care of it. That's in his hands. And the reason I say that is because he may have a spiritual connection with his daughter that nobody knows, and there's something that he sees that no one else sees.
Exactly.
So sometimes
that's what I mean.
It always has to be up to the family. I don't get involved in that either.
Exactly.
We're talking about people family flipping the script.
But that's what I'm talking about. Is where
that's not a good thing.
No, but I mean, like, for like what Troy was just saying, Jeff, like you would be so pissed off if a nurse came in and was like, you should do the right thing as a dad, but you in your heart and gut know, You haven't tried everything and everything that I know medically to save my daughter. So it's up to Jeff. And it would piss you off if a nurse or a doctor keeps coming in. They're like, you're just doing this selfishly for you.
I don't think nurses and doctors tell people that. But
oh, yes, it's happened to me in the past too. And it happened to my mom.
That said you were being selfish?
Yes. We had a nurse with my grandfather that came in flat out and basically told my mom to her face. And I was standing right there. And I told the nurse, you have no right to tell my mom that. And then
of course not.
In the hallway, for the record, I don't care that this is on live air, in the same medical building, in the same hospital, which is now closed because of the criminal acts that they were doing to the elderly patients. I heard a nurse and another nurse talking behind the counter as I was walking by with this 90-year-old woman, and her husband was still doing totally fine, but they thought he should be dead. Those were their words. And basically they said, you know, if she would take the time to bring us some cookies or a cake now and then, maybe we'd do more to take care of her husband.
Yeah, no, that's just rampant in elder
There are people like that. There's people like that.
And it's terrible, rampant. But I was so pissed off because in their eyes, well, they've lived a good life. They've been around long. I mean, what do we need them for? I'm sorry, bitch. That's my grandfather or that's her husband. If she wants him around, that's her right. And because she's not bringing you some cookies every Sunday for you, that doesn't give you a right to dictate how you take care of him. That's not your job.
Well, I do like cookies.
Jeff, you know what I'm saying.
I fucking knew
it was not true, Craig.
But it made me mad because my grandfather was being treated by these people, and that is what bothered me. And I have a problem. You don't get into the nursing field if you don't have a heart. Sorry, you don't go completely numb.
Unfortunately enough, I think we have a lot of it with bedside manner and the improper shit. I mean, for me, I walk in to the shit with normal issues like, you know, fingers getting chewed off and all that stuff, and the minute that I say, hey, you can't give me any painkillers, right then and there, the whole shit with the way that I look and whatnot, you could see it in everybody's eyes. They're like, oh, you're a piece of shit. I'm like, yeah.
Oh, you know, most people come in looking for it. They ask me all the time. I'm like, hey, how's it going today? Well, you know, I didn't get my pain pill. Can you give me my pain pill? And the look on their face when I'm like, dude, you're barking up the wrong tree. They don't give me access to the good drugs, man.
They do the opposite to me. They're like, oh, what's your pain scale right now? And I'm like, I'm fucking fine. And they're like, oh, well, we could give you this, that, and the other. And I'm like, you can't give me any of that shit. I can't have any of that shit. Well, why not? I'm like, okay, let's really
none of your fucking business.
We get along a little bit too much. Like, can I just not have the damn drugs, dude? And then once they find out what the deal is, and I'm like, yeah, I just can't take it. I can't take
they
that
should
shit.
Be praising you, man, if anything.
You know what's funny?
No, they look at me like a piece of shit after that.
It's funny you say that, Justin, because when I had Bimini, right, and I was in the hospital and I told them you can't give me codeine, they thought it was because I had an addictive past to codeine. As a massive painkiller. And the one nurse asked me, it's allergy.
That should be on your chart, like, first and foremost, that you have an allergy to codeine.
She doesn't have an allergy to it.
Yes, I do. It almost killed me in the hospital.
When I was a child, and my mom wrote the Bible about never giving any of her kids codeine again. None of her kids got codeine.
No, that's actually not true. They accidentally.
I know Mom will get on and defend you
in the hospital.
I think we need some field work on this.
Okay, well, I'm being honest for myself.
Do it.
From the hospital account after Bimini, I told them they cannot give it to me. The nurse said, well, this drug I can give to you, but it does have a small slice, like a small vein of codeine, but you should be fine because it's a small amount.
Was it Tramadol or?
I don't remember the name, but I was downstairs trying to nurse Bimini and get her to nurse. When all of a sudden the room started spinning and I started to black out. They had to get me back upstairs and put me back on an IV because the codeine was starting to affect my system and I was having a bad reaction to it. And the nurse said she was allergic. And the other nurse was like, yeah, but I thought it was just a small strand. It wouldn't affect her. And she goes, yes, but she said she is deathly allergic. And there it was, because nobody chooses to listen to the actual patient.
Hold the fucking phone here, bro. If somebody says, yeah, I'm allergic to peanuts, we go, oh, I'm just giving you a little fucking bit.
That's what she did to me. It was a small strand. And then my main primary nurse had been taking care of me in the NICU comes up and she was just like, I'm so sorry that happened to you, because I was in the middle of trying to nurse Bimini and get her.
I wouldn't have believed this except John sued the hospital and won. Otherwise, I wouldn't have believed this story.
No, it's 100% true. Like, I am legitimately like horribly allergic to codeine. It is really, really bad. Like, it could kill me. And they didn't believe me until they literally gave me the drug in the hospital and I almost died.
Brittany.
Chocolate and codeine.
I'm like,
well, she just talked about too. Remember,
said, don't give me codeine.
Now that we're having family talks,
I was so mad.
I really wanted to talk about. Brittany obviously went to Universal Studios and bought herself a dragon.
No, I got it at Goodwill.
And no one's talked about it.
Somebody dropped him off at Goodwill.
Nobody's talked about it yet. Brittany's been moving him around the whole time.
The one in the background there?
I just
can't
started
see
using all my
anything. The
stuff.
phone is so small.
I can't even see Ant anymore. He's texting, but I know he's here.
No, I'm here. I'm listening to every word you're saying.
No, I can hear. We can hear you. We just can't see you. You're just a black blob.
He's a
sorry.
Don't be sorry.
He's like herpes. You can't always see it, but you know it's there.
That's right. Exactly. It's the gift that keeps on giving.
I thought you guys didn't you have a specific thing that you wanted to bring up?
Yeah, I wanted to bring it up because of everybody's age difference and some of the stuff. But you know, when Ant and I were talking today, Ant has to be a little verbally present because I can't say some of the stuff. But when we were kids, there were different terminologies that you used to use about stuff, and it didn't really pertain to anything other than it was just a stupid word that you use. Like if you walk in and go, "Look, I just got my brand new Kia Soul," and you're like, "That's gay." Right?
But it's how
right. Isn't that what they say? Yeah, but that has nothing to do with it.
We probably said retard 57 times a day.
Dude, and then
I probably still do.
We did.
And it's
But here's the
And
thing:
it
we
wasn't-
never associated it to like I thought the word meant don't be stupid. Like that's
Thank you.
literally like we come from a generation where I thought that the word meant don't be stupid.
Which one, retarded or gay?
Both.
Retarded.
But now it's been associated to
offense.
Yeah.
Yeah, like an offensive
then
word, like because you remember there were Christmas songs like "We'll be happy and gay." When you hear that now, you're like, see, they're like, "Oh, that guy was gay." And you're secretly talking. I'm like, no, it was a different term. And people used to walk up when you're young, and go, "Oh, yo, you got a fag?"
Yeah. And
That's
then the thing is like then they start, I'm gonna put this here. I'm gonna put that. But then like that breeds the question.
So how do you guys
like,
get compared to cigarettes, Ant? I mean, that's.
Well, the American
how do you take a gay man and a cigarette and be like, we're going to call them both fags?
Right.
The American
that's still
English.
Actually, not the proper English. American.
No, it's
yeah.
It's like
what are you talking about, Ant?
Hey, what are you doing? Anthony's Prince Spaghetti Day. Listen,
from Chicago.
I used to live on Prince Street, by the way.
With an A. I'm from Chicago.
Chicago. It's Chicago.
Sorry.
Who parked the car?
Yeah, car.
Where's the car, Ant? Where's the car? Who's walking the dog?
They go off on tangents. They start shit and then they don't finish it.
Go ahead, finish.
Who, me?
I said they because that's your pronoun. I think
my pronoun is hey. That's it. Hey, you.
I don't even know what I was going to say anymore. Oh, you should see my straight buddies fall out when I use the F word at them.
Oh, I think it's hilarious.
He calls us that all the time. I don't even think about it.
And then
it used to not bother anybody.
People are too sensitive nowadays.
When we were kids, that's what we would say, Brittany. Everybody was they would say the word
stop being a fag.
And everybody was or they add the OT or they'd hard OT that bitch. When they're picking up on, they go, "What's up?" And they would say it. You're like, "What, dude? Why'd you call me that? What's that mean?" You know, and then later on, that's what everybody was. Everybody was called that.
I mean, words.
Now, if you say it, it's like that hurts my feelings. Well,
yeah, words never offended me. I don't.
No. Sticks and stones, on the other hand, fuck yeah.
Well, I think.
Well, like if you get one of those little battery cars and you drive around, you're gay, dude. Like, I mean, that doesn't mean you're.
I got a battery
gay.
car.
You're just gay.
If you were,
you know what I mean? You're gay. I'm saying that was the meme. The meme.
Like,
remember the meme? If you drive a battery car, you're gay. But I don't think it meant.
That's gay.
Exactly. Ant's still here. He's doing something. But he's here.
I'm getting so many messages because of the news. I'm so sorry.
I know you're fine, but I can see you in the bottom. I know you're still with us.
I'm right here.
No, I'm saying that as a joke. Like that's what people say. They joke around, and it's like it's not. It doesn't mean that. Like
humor's gone out of our lives. It's a shame, man.
But it's sad because you see these comedians struggling so hard, and Ricky Jarvis
it's coming back
some
around.
shit
it's coming back around. They're fighting back,
right?
Yeah,
they're fighting back at some point.
Well, because what happened was it went to. I'm sorry, Justin. It went too far.
No, go.
It went too far to the point of like you literally couldn't say anything, so comedy was dead. Like you, And so now you have people like Seinfeld and people who are predominantly left-leaning or liberal because people associate wokeism to whatever, and which is kind of true. But these people that have been in Hollywood that are comedians for a long time, they're like, okay, y'all got to stop this because we can't say anything now. Like, we can't say nothing.
No,
well,
yeah,
the point of
has to be quiet.
comedy, it used to be like looking at the Andrew Dice Clays and George Carlins and people like that who really like, and Richard Pryor, like people that would push on the subjects that were uncomfortable and they made it funny, but it was a way to lean
Dave
into it,
Chappelle.
talk about it,
Dave
make light
Chappelle's
of it.
great.
Have Dave Chappelle, yeah, that's a perfect fucking example, but it's pushing the envelope because that's what you're supposed to do. That's your art form, that's your shit, and you're supposed to have some shock value. And then like Ricky Gervais, I saw him the other day talking about it, basically saying like you being offended is that's just based off of feelings. There's no facts, there's no nothing. It's just something that may bother you, but then like he's not doing it for the one person and it bothers. He's doing it for the 2 million people that want to watch and have a good time, that can get past the fact that, yeah, it's uncomfortable situations, but they're already there. They're going to be there. Then we should be talking and joking and laughing about those things to bring some levity to the situation so that we could turn it around, possibly make something of it, do something. But yelling, screaming, arguing, and shit seems to be the fucking more commonplace at this point.
Everything's funny.
To be canceled.
Everything's funny.
Yeah. Well, that recent roast that they just did
on Tom Brady.
Tom Brady.
Oh, I think that was like that. It broke all the like.
It's good, except he got really pissed off because he got roasted. And they said something about you want a massage. Did you see him get up? You know, he almost shut the whole thing down because of that.
Really?
Because he's a little bitch.
Really?
Yeah, he's a little bitch ass dude. I couldn't even look at his stupid face. I'm so glad they wrecked him because when he got up there, he goes, "Don't do that again" to the roast master because he did give that man a massage. He just doesn't want to admit that he jerked that old man off in a white towel. He don't want to talk about it. So don't go out there and sit and get on a roast, because if you go on a roast, you know you're going to get
those Comedy Central roasts are ridiculous, man. I love that shit.
But I will say though that it was probably the first comedy roast that I've seen in a long time that was not sensitive to wording and sensitive to how they watch their jokes. It was very like old school jokes, and Kevin Hart went with it. So many like God love Kevin Hart.
Everybody's going to be uncomfortable. Thank
you.
God.
He was like,
being uncomfortable.
Have you rewatched the shit though?
They cut it out, didn't they? They cut it out.
They fucking edited a bunch of shit because it was live. So like,
they took out the Kardashian stuff when they.
I just watched Kim, it. Was 3 hours and it had all of Kim in it. It had everything original.
Yeah, but they booed the shit out of her. No, they booed her to death and they took it off.
Yeah, so there's a couple of things that they edited.
Wait, is the Dana White thing in there where he gets up? He's like, "My name is Dana." Is that not trans enough for you guys, or is that not?
Yes,
he does it all. Yeah, like it was like
most of it stayed. Most of it stayed a lot, but then there was some that they went back and chopped out. Now, when they do the roast for real or whatever, Jeff Ross is famous for that. They'll ask him not to do something, and he deliberately does it because they asked him not to, and that's what he's going to do anyway.
Because he's a lunatic. I love that guy.
Yeah, he's fucking awesome. But then when they go and they make the show, they'll edit those parts out. But he still does it. This time he got to do it live. Dude, so he came up and Jeff Ross didn't even break stride. He was
I haven't watched that one yet, but I will now.
And he kept moving. Remember, he was like, okay, and he kept going. That's right, Jay, he did. You know, they made jokes about everything in there, and I think that it was really good. I thought that, you know, some of the gay community would probably get a little bit upset about it because they were talking about exactly what I was just talking about with you, Ant, that they were using that terminology so much that I thought that they would have. I thought there was going to be a little bit more pushback on it because it was like, okay, dude, you said it like 9 billion times. Like every one of the dumb guys that got their head hit too many times, like, you know how I know you're gay? You eat yogurt. That wasn't funny. That stuff's not funny, dude. Like, there's no talent to that type of humor. I mean, I like really psychotic,
football players, though.
Intricate, psychotic humor makes me laugh. You have to be so dark,
so
dirty,
I like dark.
That I want you to think about what I said, and you get sick, and you go, "Oh my God, I can't believe he said that," and then laugh.
You know,
that literally happens every time you open your mouth to me.
When I was eating yogurt in my battery car the other day, I, you know, and giving Ann a handy in the front seat, you know, I'm thinking,
yep.
I'm looking kind of gay right now.
It's only gay if you look at each other in the eyes.
That's right.
That's what I say.
Gay.
Yeah, it's not gay otherwise.
But
you know, you get a little shy.
I need to write this down. I'm learning so much.
The old school gay.
earlier what I was going to say to Ant before we got started on when you still don't know about the gray sweatpants, I was going to tell you about the differences in human beings. And even though Justin wearing his gray sweatpants doesn't make my mouth wet like it does Ant's, I still love Ant to death, and I think he's awesome. I don't really care what gets his little fire going. You know what I'm saying? Ant's just a good person to me. So there's a lot
a hot piece of ass. What are you going to do?
Well, I mean, now he's purposely going to walk around everybody in gray sweatpants.
What's the sweatpants got to do with it?
You're the one with the pink hat today. You look a little gay.
Thank you.
Boom!
Drop the mic.
Wait, so hold on. What the fuck does the gray sweatpants mean?
They already said they'll have to be told after hours.
Would you like Uncle Daddy to tell you? He'll tell you later.
Okay.
You better throw them out.
I'll slide into your DMs later.
Slide right into my DMs.
You slide into sweatpants, let you know.
Your dirty manhood.
Yeah, but you know what?
Humor, one of my favorite scenes, and everybody who remembers this, it's when Sam Kinison was making fun of the cameraman for not feeding the starving children in Africa.
Oh, God.
And he said, there's a reason you're starving over here because it's sand. Remember, he kept screaming,
there's no fucking food.
He said, what
to the food.
He's like, there's a camera guy there with a sandwich going, God, look at him. He's fucking starving and he's eating a sandwich. Because you think he could have helped them out. You see him dying in the desert and they give him a sandwich, but they film it. So that type of humor seems to be gone, because that happens, dude. So be thankful it doesn't happen to you, but it happens.
But
I think that
everything's fucking funny from age to pronouns, dude. It doesn't matter.
To that point, I guarantee you, we could walk down the street. We could go to Hollywood Boardwalk on the beach down south, and we could ask 100 people who Sam Kinison is, and most people don't fucking know who he is. But we still talk about the starving children in Africa because that motherfucker made that joke.
He did, and it's one of the greatest.
Back on the old Rodney Dangerfield specials, man. Those were the shit.
Yep, watch Richard Pryor, one of the most talented fucking comics I've ever seen in my life. Red Skeleton, Red Fox, Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy, Andrew Dice Clay is a fucking forever classic. And there's very few people like him. And the big heavy hitters was Sam Kinison. I mean, he was performing shows with Motley Crue. I mean, we don't have any of that. Everybody gets crazy. Dave Chappelle has made a comeback and he's fucking awesome. He just got tired.
Yeah. He's hilarious, dude. Fucking hilarious.
He stayed true to himself. He didn't.
Dude, you want to see something funny? Watch Dave Chappelle and fucking Screwed with Danny DeVito.
Bro. That's an older movie, but it's fucking.
Yeah, it's
and
fucking hilarious. Dave Chappelle, Norm Macdonald, fucking Danny DeVito.
The Wayans brothers, yeah.
The Wayans brothers too. Don't forget them. They're some of the best.
Yeah.
Well, all right, let's go around the table real quick. Who's everybody's favorite comic? All time.
As of right now?
No, if you had to pick one comic to only watch.
I couldn't do just one because currently, I'll start. One of my all-time favorites was Andrew Dice Clay. I think he had the right idea.
All right, so do it this way. Do one classical and one to date.
Oh, I'm telling you right now. Andrew Dice Clay and Theo Von.
Yeah. Okay.
You really like Theo Von.
I like Theo Von because I can relate to him. I understand how I know his delivery. I watch how he works and how he used his tragedies. I love it. I think he's extremely talented and people underestimate him.
He's extremely creative.
So that's fine. Go ahead, Brittany. We're going along the line. You're next.
I honestly, because the older comedians were way beyond my time, and the person that I found really funny as I got older was Dave Chappelle. So for me, he'd be like my vintage kind of guy. Yeah, I am young. Dave Chappelle, but currently it'd be Kevin Hart. Like I just am in love with Kevin Hart.
He's good
with all of his work. And he doesn't mind going off the cuff and not being so politically woke. I appreciate that.
Anthony.
I'm gonna have to go with Andrew Dice Clay.
Italian, the bones.
And the best is because I gotta say real quick because I used to work for Men's Warehouse for like 15 years. Well, there's a great skit of him working in a men's suit store.
42 long.
Oh.
He's like, I don't know. It really doesn't fit on him. He's like, well, he looks like a fucking gorilla. What the fuck you with?
42 long. I said 42 long.
And then I would say
I'm watching that tonight. I have to see it. I have to see it.
Currently, Shane Gillis.
Gillis.
Shane,
yeah.
he's pretty
Shane
funny,
Gillis.
and And if you haven't seen, not Dave Chappelle, but the other guy from Half Baked.
Oh God, no.
Jim Brewer?
Jim Brewer?
Yes. He's made quite a comeback. I know you won't like him because you're pretty liberal.
No, I saw Jim Brewer back in the day when he was on Saturday Night Live, and he was hilarious. Now it's just all stupid political comedy.
Well, that's okay. I know he makes fun of you guys that have masks and stuff, but I think he's funny. So,
That I have what now?
Shane, nothing. You'll be okay.
You guys are fucked.
Come again?
No,
right,
no,
so...
no. I can't come again for you. I came once.
Yeah, you're old. So, I gotta
Come
say,
on, Jeff. Who your guy?
Classic's got to be either Steve Martin, so who I grew up with.
That's a good
Martin,
one.
wow.
Okay.
Or no, it's got to be Steve Martin. He's my number one growing up. And then newer, Louis C.K. I think is one of the funniest human beings alive.
Oh my god!
Oh yeah, I agree 100%.
I don't care who he jerks off in front of. He's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, but he came back after that shit, bro. He
came after that shit too.
He did. He did.
He's
really
good. If you
Eddie
watch
Murphy was
some of his
still
shows,
really
like
good in
Louis,
his day, though.
on Comedy Central, hilarious, dude, and he's fucking funny as shit.
I can watch
Eddie Murphy is amazing.
anytime.
I'm not taking away from Eddie Murphy,
Yeah.
but the reason Eddie Murphy was very good at using the F word and putting it methodically, but Andrew Dice Clay, he was every fucking young man. Dude. He did everything we did. He talked about it. He didn't care. He didn't care about making fun of people. Oh my God. And I know Ant knows what I'm talking about. And one of my that 42 long was a great skit. The other one is when he talked about running over a midget that he thought was a bird, and when the cop pulled him over and stuff, he's like, "What happened?" "Oh, I thought it was a bird." And I was like, and this stuff that he got away with was insane. It was just amazing. Go, Jay. Go. It's your turn.
I would say Eddie Murphy Raw. That was my favorite when I was younger.
Oh, dude, my parents took me to see that, and they had no idea. I'm talking about like live Eddie Murphy.
That's awesome.
I was probably like 12 years old, dude.
Yeah, HBO Live.
Idea.
HBO Live.
That was the best.
Wow.
Oh no, it was Delirious, not Raw. I'm sorry. That tour
where he wore the red.
That was
Raw.
Yeah, well, that was Raw.
Raw was
Delirious
the first
was
one.
before that.
Delirious was number 2.
And Delirious was bomb.
One he wore red, one he wore purple, didn't he? One of them was purple.
Right, purple and red.
Yeah, we went to this little theater in Connecticut, this little theater in the Round to see Eddie Murphy. Nobody knew who he was, and my parents were like, okay.
And then I would say, man, it was a toss-up. I was going to go for my newer one, either Tom Segura, because he puts out some badass shit, or Nate Bargatze, if nobody's ever seen those guys.
I haven't seen those guys.
Tom Segura is a fucking genius. He pushes shit, too. He pushes shit pretty fucking far. And he does.
I'm not even touching the pushing shit comment, but
oh my God. Jeff Bell said George Carlin. George Carlin was good too.
George Carlin
was amazing.
He was amazing.
100%. The man told it like it was.
He was
there's just so many
way beyond his time though. He was way beyond his time
because there were so many great leaders back then for comedy.
Right. Exactly.
Prior too, man. Prior was before his time. I mean, that guy did cocaine when cocaine wasn't even cool.
Yeah.
I did.
And he set himself on fire doing crack.
Yes,
and his grandmother was a pimp.
Yes, he did. There's nothing free about freebase. Just ask Richard Pryor.
Yeah, there was a lot of shit for them. So, I mean, well,
but they started it. I mean, they started it. They were like the kings of comedy at that time in that era. And then everybody tried to follow suit after that, and it was really that is a hard seat to fill. Sorry, it just is.
I know Eddie Murphy when he impersonated Elvis, it was the best. I mean, when he came out all bloated, he was like farting and stuff. So excuse me. But yeah, we kept everybody 20 minutes into the show, and I appreciate everybody coming out. We should probably wrap it up. I mean, I know people got lives, and it's past Justin's bedtime. Ant's very busy this evening. Brittany's got kids, and Jeff's got family.
I'm here.
But thanks everybody for coming out to the Motley Croc show this Thursday. We had fun laughing with everyone. It's good when everybody gets together, I think. And
yes,
yep.
I had a good time.
I appreciate. There's like a face that has popped in a couple of times next to Justin, and
there it is.
Yeah, I've seen something literally just walk by Justin's left arm. It's weird.
Oh,
shit. Goes.
There it is again. I've been seeing it pop in. I'm like, all right, I'm seeing things.
Bro, You scared? I got my headphones in. You snuck in like a ninja.
Such a cutie.
But anyways, I want to wrap it up. Thank everybody for coming out. Everybody, Ant's still here. He says goodbye, and we want to say
here.
Love you, Ant.
Love you guys.
Thank you guys for coming out to the Motley Croc Show and supporting us. We love having you here with us and laughing and playing along. It's really well. So good night, my friends, and we will see you next Thursday.
Bye, guys.
Till then, peace out.